the TB that can help push towers and maybe cycle with Shadow Shaman ulti. Anything that comes to mind. Hugner doesn't do very well here, could help sustain pushes, but...
I mean, I like CK, but I think CK is dead
10 seconds
in the competitive scene. Is there any chance Chaos Knight gets brought out for this, or is that just not even a thing?
We saw a lot of CK AA in the group stage, so it may be LGD-FY that go for the Chaos Knight, and against a Lifestealer, it's a pretty good shout. But...
Lifestealer looks quite good here.
Yeah, got 2 good vessels with the Puck and the next Assassin to get him in for those infest bombs, and Magic Community is always going to be neat against LGD Forever Young's lineup.
Remaining.
None of these heroes at all against
5 seconds remaining.
Looks quite nice and Puck, tons of lockdown. They have a lot of this disables and everything
Reserve
to kind of keep Weaver in check in these fights. But
can you go Necro? Can you go Necro here as FY? As LGD FY?
Could, but then you have an
Weaver
offlane
offlane.
Necro. Or an offlane Weaver. Or perhaps you aggro tri-lane with Omni Knight. I mean, LGDFY's lineup right here, you can see exactly what they want to do. They're going to group up, push, and have this unstoppable 5-man before get online and be able to deal with it, hopefully.
What's going to be the go point for LGDFY? Is it going to be Death Prophet 6 and then they move, or do they need some items? Do they need AA's 6 and Omni Knight 6?
I feel like there's a whole bunch of different power spikes. Like, D6 is good, but unless they, like, kill Puck, they probably can't deal a lot of tower damage because pull it off with the orb. So, I mean, all these heroes have, like, some innate lane pressure. Weaver being strong in the lane, especially against the Bristleback with an AA paired up, will always be able to, like, chip away at the tower. So they can kind of spread EHOME K pretty thin on the map. And then they'll, like, slowly chip at towers, then eventually group up and then try to break open the map. And it might not even be through deep. It might be just rotations from Spirit, AA, even Weaver.
Don't both teams have to run defensive tri-lanes against the off-lane counterparts though? Both Omni and Bristle are super hard to kill if you just have dual lanes, right?
Yeah, they definitely are both going to be looking for these tri-lanes, most likely. But I mean, Omni Knight is a good laner, especially against Life. Very, very good.
Yeah.
And Shadow Shaman is probably one of the best offlane or support heroes at zoning these offlaners, but of course then there are the X factors that come into play, you know, Earth Spirit rotations. Shadow Shaman is quite a slow hero. Sometimes he gets slow.
Yeah, we've seen Shamans be able to go and get like redonkulously fast blinks, but then Shamans also get like Shane killed over and over, so we'll see what's going to be happening this game. Like you mentioned, it's not a perfect Shadow Shaman game, but it'll still work. Hey, Shane.
Yes, please.
Good.
Scrambled eggs would be lovely. Apparently we have scrambled eggs now. Alright, so again, we are starting off. This is series number 3 in the Chinese playoff for TI7. And this is the upper bracket, as this is the victors of both games so far. Come on, there we go. Getting those camera binds working. So, initial impressions of the draft, like who do you think just overall has the upper hand here, according to our betting odds?
LFY for ease of execution. It looks way simpler for them to do what they want to do than EHOME, who have much more kind of finicky, nuanced ways to enter and exit team fights. They rely on Lifestealer bombs to look for picks.
Yeah, they like rely on this Lifestealer bomb, but there's an Omni Knight to save whoever they go on, right? It has to be like such a well planned out, coordinated fight where Puck blinks in, silences Omni Knight, and then they are able to burst down some key hero like the DP, but then at the same time then that frees up the fight for all these other heroes, and it just looks like LGDFY's lineup is easy.
Yep, and again, the odds right below the net worth bar are from Loot Bet, so if you are over 18, live in a country where it's legal, and feel like putting a couple bucks down on the game, there's a really high payout for LFY. If you believe they can actually get this done in game number 1, that's tripling your money right there.
What's the website again? How do I sign up for this?
Loot.bet, sir.
Oh, right.
I believe US is legal for Loot Bet.
Well, I'm still not going to do it.
And yeah, these are live odds, so hopefully they'll be updating throughout the game. So after a dope team fight, we'll see if it swings one way or the other. And promo code TI7 if you're actually looking to put a couple of dollars down. Again, loot.bet. Thank you guys for getting them live odds up.
Bet responsibly.
Absolutely. Be over 18. Do it in a legal way. Don't do no sneaky stuff. That's not how you win good money.
Every time I hear promo code, memes come
BSJ.
up. Yep.
Dude, promo code BSJ, man.
What was the Papa John's one that EG had?
Oh, it was Pizza GG.
Pizza GG,
Pizza
that's the one. That got
GG.
spammed so much.
Dude, exclamation point pizza GG
Giveaway.
if you're a fan.
Exclamation
Dude,
mark
don't
giveaway.
bring back giveaway. That still triggers me.
I actually used that one, but I lived in Santa Monica at the time, and pizza was still $15.
$15 for one pizza.
Yeah, it was disappointing, but I ate it anyways.
So here's the thing, if you had $5 and you bet on LFY to win the game and then they do, you could buy a $15 pizza for $5.
Oh my god. Loot
That
bet?
is tripling your money.
It's loot bet, right?
Loot.bet, yeah.
Oh, well, okay. Loot dot bet. I can't get it wrong. These guys are lifesavers.
That's a $5 pizza, that's all you gotta think about. Over here, some initiation onto the Shadow Shaman. He's being bullied, but yeah, no one's really gonna be going and getting killed, I don't
Rasta
think.
is strong.
Actually,
This guy's giving him the business.
Ether Shock, can he keep vision? Red Spirit just slightly faster.
I mean, Rolling Boulder's a trash level 1 spell now, right? You know,
Yeah, definitely.
they remove so much of the damage and slow from it.
When you look
Well, it
at
used
the
to be
Shadow Shaman of the
huge.
past, right, you think, this guy's not man fighting anyone. This guy, whew, it's been working out. Wrong hero now.
Krong has mismatched thingamajiggies. That's not bothersome at all.
It's even worse on heroes like Anti-Mage where they have 2 different swords.
Oh yeah, Anti-Mage, Bloodseeker, just all the offhand weapons not matching.
Oh, are you talking about his maracas?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right, one's like a dragon. Oh, no, that's, oh.
Which
I
one
zoomed in
has
on
the
it.
hex thing? Because isn't one of them the hex immortal that makes it a sheep, not a chicken?
Yeah, it's the torch looking thing.
Oh, well, either way, it looks like Lifestealer potentially in some trouble. Gonna get rolled on here. Doesn't have his race skilled up, but they just don't do enough damage. All they're doing is driving him back from the wave and forcing him to last it under tower.
What's Omni doing on the tower?
Well, they're gonna continue to pressure in. Omni looked like he was going in for the nuke on the backside, but looks like he's just gonna get shackled up. That is a miscalculation from the Omni. They do have the rolling boulder waiting, and looks like he will be able to get off the purification and heal himself, but that seems a little unnecessary to go that deep.
He made the Lifestealer miss like 2 CS and 1 CS on a range creep, so I think that's worth it.
I mean, it looked awkward, and it probably wasn't the most optimal play, but they didn't really matter. It solves him up. Now Rasta has only mana for like 1 spell. He's still gonna have a pretty okay time in lane.
In towards our mid lane, relatively even in CS. Puck with a couple more denies, but damage really being sprayed out both ways. Puck going in deep here. They are going to bring the Impale and the Death Prophet, even through the Soul Siphon. Still getting healed up. They just need a couple more hits. One more. Is Puck going to do it? The Death Prophet's still alive. Nyx chasing her, eating tower shots, as now Puck is running low. First blood comes the way of the Nyx Assassin. They're looking to make this a 2 for 1 more hit, and it will be 2 kills now in favor of EHOME. So very dangerous mid gank goes right for the dire side.
Such good timing on that next rotation. Coming in from like the eastern side where there's no ward vision. DP overplaying.
It's also like, you don't expect to die to a level 1 Nick. Hill's not exactly the strongest level 1 build. But now he's level 3.
Radiant's top
kills.
tower is under attack.
Quite the disaster in the mid. You know, when Puck gets ahead like this, when he's level 6, tons of killer damage.
Yep, he's already got his double null, just healing up. He's got enough for boots if he wants some, or he can just grab a bottle and head back in. Down bottom are AA, level 3.25. That's pretty okay for 4.5 minutes in. Gonna be getting that level 6 nicely timed.
Interesting deviation. The Puck went for raindrops, holding on to a bit of money still. And went for the boots. So we'll get the bottle a bit later on. I guess it's good at dealing with the Soul Siphon, not having to waste the Lucy Orb to try and get away. And all the Venom from Earth Spirit rotations. You give yourself a lot more leeway in fights to turn around and play aggressively once they've cast the spells.
Yeah, it's also like it doesn't need the bottle right away. You know, he just came back from the fountain, full HP, full mana, doesn't actually matter.
Omni-Knight going in here. Is he going to get killed off before he gets a chance to cast that purification? He gets it off, but the damage might still be there. He's going to go repel himself and try to walk to freedom. Fu is there with the rolling boulder. But, oh, Impale catches him. They clip him with the Ether Shock as well. That's going to be a kill for Lifestealer, so things going well for him. Ooh, thank you for the egg, Shane.
What a nice play.
So now down in the bottom lane, Weaver getting some okay farm, being bullied out a little bit by the Bristleback, who even solo in lane is outlast hitting him.
Bristleback is having a field day in this lane AA. I mean, unless they actually... It's one of these lanes where, like, they need to make moves early with all three heroes to commit to actually zoning them early start, but at this point, if he just shrines up, I don't know if they can actually kill him.
All wands will break.
Ned goes in and manages to find himself a bounty rune, but the Shadow Shaman coming in, all they can do is pop the shock, although now they're in range of shackles, but they'll let him off with a warning this time.
That's why we expected the safe lane tri-lane with Earth Spirit being there, but he spent a lot of time top lane, then rotated mid a fair amount. So the damage that AA Weaver have wasn't tied in with the lockdown that Earth Spirit brings to actually kill off or zone out fully the Bristle.
I mean, Bristle, you can just see with his positioning, he's so confident. He's got that sentry ward in, making sure no one's going to be sneaking up on him, and he's not going to walk off the cold feet. There is going to be the rolling boulder in. The cold feet not going to proc, though. Killing touch there. The damage is going to be a lot. They just need a couple more hits, and they will find it. So Bristleback gets his bluff called as they pick up that level 1 in the chilling touch.
Yep, that chilling touch with giving attack tons of damage. I mean, his farm is still great. Like, if Earth Spirit ever feels like he needs to leave the lane to help enable his Omni Knights, or perhaps kill a Death Prophet and have mid lane, like Puck is almost 7 now, having to get coiled into.
Puck just gonna hop to safety. Death Prophet matching up with him pretty nicely. What?
The Nyx just animation cancelling. Such a
Chilling.
little troll. I can't remember what his name is because he uses Chinese characters that I can't read. But I think his name is like Jiang or something like that. But he plays the Pudge as well, and he's just absolutely insane at knowing where to be at what time. Rotating in. Like, even there you see the DP try to go a little bit on the Puck. The Puck has the orb, but Nyx is already there ready in case the Earth Spirit's coming in to rotate as well.
Puck now has the bottle building towards the treads. He'll have it up pretty shortly, and this Puck is, again, off to a really good start. Has that 1 kill under his belt, and things looking okay. Nyx Assassin, levels are pretty good. Level 4 1/4. Ancient Apparition, almost level 5, so that level 6 is getting close. Omni Knight again, gonna get popped by the Dream Coil. They're bringing the Puck here, and he's just gonna repel himself, walk on through the coil. They're waiting him to repel. Where the repel off before they go into the shackles, and it's not looking like Omni gets out here. Clipped by the orb, and that's gonna be another kill for the Puck. The charge comes in as everyone feeling pretty confident on EHOME's side of the map. Bristleback has respawned after his death and continuing to pressure the Weaver. Look at that. One spray of the quills just clips him down.
I'm proud of myself. His name is Jiang An. I got it right.
That's
Fuck
five,
yeah.
Gareth. You got
My
that.
hands are sweaty, so
Oh.
never fix it.
You basically rounded up. You weren't entirely right.
Round it up. Okay. Are they
Radiant's
coming in? Are they going to
bottom
try an
tower is
attempt on
under
the
attack.
Bristleback here? He's pretty low mana. They're going to bug. Now, there they go. They lock him down, and they will get the kill. So that's now 2 kills on the Bristleback in lane. Earth Spirit's rotation was super crucial. Meanwhile, top lane, Omni still getting some okay farm for himself, but definitely not matching up with that Bristle. In fact, almost getting doubled up by the off-lane Bristle.
Definitely makes you worry about the Weaver's farm. 35 last hits in 9 minutes in your safe lane. I mean, look at how easily they can kill this hero. It's not like that was difficult in the very beginning, especially with points in the challenge.
Initiation onto Omni here. Again, just going to repel it off and walk away. I mean, that's the strength of the Omni. He doesn't much care about initiations onto himself, but he's got to watch out. They got to make him burn the repel with, Lifestealer feasting onto you, but then there's still the Shadow Shaman here with the Shackles. Those are pretty lethal.
And usually the response to an aggressive offlaner doing well in lane is to put your, at least move your safe laner, go in TP top or smoke with one of your supports to play aggressively in the enemy safe lane. But with a Lifestealer and a Shadow Shaman there, I think the only kill you get is likely on the Shadow Shaman.
Yeah.
Because the control they have is not enough to go through Rage, and he can, infest now as well. He's level 7, nearly level 8 on Lifestealer.
Damn.
Such a difficult hero to rotate and actually be able to kill.
Off-lane Bristleback going to be almost picking up his level 9, and the Nyx is getting very close to that Vendetta.
And AA is not a rotation hero. He is not a dynamic hero. He is a I sit here and do what I can to get my
I will
ulti up.
participate from afar kind of hero,
Yeah.
and well, smoke rotation up, and wow, these are just on top of each other. They got no freaking clue.
Yeah, invis on invis.
Definitely one of those please don't come near farm.
He's just a fragile little icicle. Don't
It's a
cut him down from the roof.
A delicate ice cream.
So in towards the mid lane, AA really getting the most of that invis rune, able to just wander up. Hasn't been able to plant vision there, still holding on to the odds and sentry wards. And there's the Nyx assassin going in, getting the vendetta strike, and oh my god, that snowflake just got melted, and now they're going to continue to press forward. The silence of the puck going to wear off. Oh, but it's going to be re-splashed on by Afu, so now it's going to be an even trade, 1-for-1, but that puck definitely the more valuable death. LFY are happy with that.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
For sure. And now,
Radiant
they
structures
made a play in the
are
mid lane. That was
fortified.
their smoke. Was kind of an unfortunate timing. But Ross is already at level 6 up top. Drop the ward, hit this town.
Lifestealer just in a siege creep, waiting this out. Trying to bait him in to go on this solo shaman, but AA Blast's gonna come in and it will do enough to clip the shaman. And now this Lifestealer just has to rage TP. The bamboozle was thwarted by the AA Blast, so he shows off at level 6 and well, at least does something for his team.
They got the tower though.
Yeah.
Top lane, Radiant Tower. Always helps up open Roshan as the game progresses. We've been seeing a lot of safe laners not kill their tower either. You know, rotate towards the off lane and push that tower, or move towards mid and push that one. Actually getting that tower is pretty important. Using a first Serpent Ward and gaining an objective with it all works out for you. Even if you just lose a hero, it's fine.
Yep, and now Ross is going to boost too, pretty comfortable. I mean, sometimes the roster goes unpunished. He is a 5-hero, but look at his net worth difference compared to the opposing
Radiant's
5-hero.
middle tower
Yeah,
is under
1,000
attack.
more.
Poor guy. Hey, he's got his shoes. He's chasing everyone around the map. And
Alright,
how's Weaver doing compared to how you expect? I mean, his net worth obviously a little bit lower. He has no deaths. He's just been playing safe, but I don't think he's in a position to rotate with his team anytime soon.
Yeah, definitely not. Like, he can't really leave this lane because Bristleback is so strong right now. Treads Vanguard on your offense Bristleback at 12 moves. He does have 2 deaths, but you can just see how much pressure he puts on the lane.
Roll in on the puck. These silences are so brutal. Puck able to go and dodge out the Ice Blast. And he'll be able to get himself home. Magnetize still rocking out. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they're going to have 4 dire heroes crawling around. Looking for the Weaver, looking for DDC to overextend. Now Nyx is going to be coming in. Pings out the AA, but how do they get close enough here? They're going to start things off with the Good. Impale connects on the AA, and he's just going to get totally evaporated as the kill spray finishes him off. And now there's the Shackles. They are going to bring the Omni Knight in, trying to keep Monet alive. They pop the Guardian Angel for this. Now they're just going to be on the run, but they can just wait out the level 1 GA. And that Omni is going to be going down. No mana for anything else. Might be able to get up one last Purify, but yeah, that's about it. They will allow the Weaver to run to safety, so at least the Omni makes space for his team, but a second set of Shaman Wards now pop down. Will secure this tower as well, so not only is there now control around the Roche pit, there's also control over the Radiant bottom jungle. Meanwhile, Radiant are getting active over here. They're looking for the puck, and they will find him. Now DP running on back home as EHOME. They bring in all the heroes they've got available. Shackles come in, but it's going to be Shaman giving his life. Tower gets denied by the Lifestealer, who's now on the run. Nyx Assassin tries to invis his way out, but they've got ample dust. So 4 heroes dead on EHOME after committing a lot to the bottom lane and not having the resources to defend mid.
Yeah, that's a real weird fight to start. I assume it's just a massive outplay by Super and Alpha to begin it, because it started as a 2v2 with the Puck and Nyx up against the DP and Earth Spirit around that tier 1 tower. But not expecting Weaver to rotate up there perhaps, or expecting more TPs to come in for the rest of their team to make a full-on engagement happen. But everything happening a little bit too slow for EHOME.
Yeah, that was the old TP into the Death Prophet. They both just get double stunned and then silenced on top of it and just died. And then
Okay.
TPs were staggered, of course, because it's just they weren't supporting the same unit. It takes a long time. And then she just got healed after that.
Radiant's
That
middle
Omni paying
tower
off. I
is
mean,
under
we
attack.
talked about how the Omni wasn't high
Dire's
performing
top
up to
tower
par
is under
compared to the
attack.
Bristleback, but I mean, if he's
Dire's
there for every
structures
fight
are
like that with his teammates, that's absolute value. That's what you need out of him.
LFY's lineup definitely comes to their full potential.
Radiant
They're playing
structures
together
are
as
fortified. Radiant's middle tower
Top
is
lane
under
tower
attack.
going to be taken out, at least opening up the
Dire's
dire
top
jungle
tower
for the
is
Radiant
under
heroes,
attack.
but looks like there may be a trade attempt.
Dire's
This tower
top
melting
tower
down quickly.
is
They've got the
falling.
Omni Knight in the vicinity with the Earth Spirit. They need some damage. Down here there was a quick little pick
Radiant's middle
onto
tower
DDC.
has
That
fallen.
poor little icicle can't seem to find much space for himself. Bit of a stalemate here. The tower goes down in favor of EHOME. It LFY, they're not going to let any more push come their way.
But I think the fact that you are one tower ahead now of the DP Weaver draft, which is meant to be pressuring your towers, feels really good for EHOME, right? You know, you've still got your bottom tier
Dire's
one,
top
not
tower is
massively
under
meaningful in
attack.
map control, you know, terms, but just gold in the pockets of supports. It's pretty big.
Yeah, and I mean that's usually where you see the big difference, right? Big difference in gold is always the support when you take these objectives like that. But I mean, EHOME, they're off to a great start. Took some towers, and then they kind of threw it right back with that play mid lane. So a lot of gold going the way of super and the death on top of the network starts. And this is a hero, especially with Omnian on the team, that can destroy. What do they do against a repelled DP running around in the team?
Yeah, DP now with the Yule's completed as well, and going in for the Rod of Ato, so she's going to have crazy lockdown. And EHOME, they kind of got to skitter around. EHOME, their sustain in teamfights is pretty okay, but LFY are just going to keep running at them and hopefully burning them down. Nick's going to be vendetted in. They are going to make a hold for this bottom tower. They don't want to let the LFY draft start to get a huge power advantage, start to get the map under their control, because that's when it all starts to slide downhill.
EHOME do have some tools to deal with LFY's 5-man. Bristleback is almost very hard
Dire's
to
bottom tower is under
tower.
attack.
Pasta just split pushes, drops wards, C4s, engages all the time. And they have plenty of time to scale for sure.
Up in the top lane, Weaver continuing just to do the solo farm thing, going in for that first big item, Lincoln's. So, gonna be a little bit harder to pop. Is that the play, or do you want to see that first item defusal that we've been seeing a ton of?
I mean, it's good, but he just needs to stay alive in these team fights because their damage is just staying alive. Like, they have tons of short cooldown abilities. I mean, deep a hero that wants long team fights. Omni Knight, same thing, so he's just going to try to tank up and stay alive. Then he'll probably build damage items like the Diffusal Blade.
Dire's middle tower is under
Smoke
attack.
up there was not scouted by either of these wards sandwiching mid lane, but see if they're going to be going and catching EHOME off guard. But looks like they just want to head straight to the roast pit. It's going to take a while. They're going to pop the Exorcism right away. Yeah,
They're just going to die now, I think.
yep. Meltdown. Maybe even fast for a 17-minute roach, it's okay. But now you can see Puck picking out. Everyone's missing. Let's get to the roach pit, see what's up. But yeah, it's done.
Too late to do it.
Oh, there's a DD rune outside the pit too. Fantastic. They're going to go give Monet the Aegis. So now that Weaver can start participating in team fights, can go a little bit deeper than you normally would have a Weaver go in at this point in the game. Meanwhile, DDC just getting that XP, getting that farm.
Free AA, the free lane.
What does he buy with his new earned money, though? Buy arcane
Best in
boots?
the future.
He's got 1,000 gold, dude. That's the richest AA's ever been this game.
It's going for the gold to throw out the old hand of Midas.
Smoke in. Looks like EHOME trying to force LFY to walk through them. They've got this ward scouting out any rotation from the low ground, and they will see this Weaver walking his way forward. They scan. They know there's at least a couple of heroes around. Nice ward trip down will stop the Vendetta from catching him off guard, and now Monet going to be going in trying to pressure back the Bristleback, but EHOME, they're just moving as a unit. There's no need for them to get crazy right now.
LFY's lineup does one thing. Group up, hit towers. EHOME, it's quite obvious. They have heroes that are pretty good and actually split pushing. Rasta, Nyx is also enables your split push, just by being so it's actually pretty hard for LFY to get to these towers without being exposed. Like Earth Spirit is in the bottom lane, solo pushing, Omninet, same thing up top. They have to take some small risk to be able to get to these lanes efficiently without getting massively out-farmed on the map. Then again, there's also Aegis hard to fight into. I mean, this game is quite slow. Point of the game. Both teams are kind of just trying to get to that next step. It's not easy to get.
Puck's scouting out a little orb there. See the Puck already picked up the Blink Dagger and going towards that Yule Scepter as well, so lockdown a priority of both of these teams. And the rest of LFY, again, like you mentioned, they just want to stay as 5, they want to push, but if EHOME are playing this right, then LFY, they can't go in, they don't want to take risky fights. But they're just sitting back, waiting for the Weaver to keep farming up. Lincoln Steer now completed and Defusal next on the list.
Even if they do go into fights, just having Puck Lifestealer or Puck Nyx Lifestealer there to Dream Core change them to do damage.
Speaking of Nyx, is going to get rooted by that new Atos and locked down. Impale totally off the mark. They're just going to keep Death Prophet going. One more Crypt Swarm. It will put Super back on the map. Raking in the kills now 4-1 and 2 for him.
Especially after Weaver's Aegis runs out. Weaver's heavily reliant on maneuverability, hunting supports in the backline, disengaging when low HP and then re-engaging after you've regened or time-lapse. If you've got Waning Rift, Dream Coil and Life away, you don't have all that maneuverability, you're stuck in one place, you have to stand your ground and fight up against you, and that's not what Weaver wants to do. So you might have to even think about Omni changing his plans, and instead of repelling DP, which is your ideal scenario, is DP repelled, ulti on, hit towers, you have to switch that plan up, just because of EHOME's massive and incredibly strong initiation tools.
Initiation down here, there is going to be a silence up, Shadow Shaman getting low, can't quite fight the bug against him. They're going to be able to go and find that kill. Yeah, they're going to a weird split push. The Death Prophet ulti going to expire relatively soon. All the bats flying back to her. They're trying to fight in this. They are going to get Bristleback in that ice Lost Blast now. There they go. That's going to be another on the run. Guardian Angel comes out just in time. Omni buying time for himself, and Death Prophet now locked down, but the Spirit Siphon keeping her so healthy, and there's the end of the Exorcism. Coming forward, Weaver spraying out another kill. Oh god, Bristleback is so low. They finally get him. Shadow Shaman respawning soon, but maybe not soon enough to go defend this tower. It's like, maybe TP in. The Omni Knight still deliciously low, just gonna keep spam healing himself up. And I like this positioning from Afu, making sure there's no shrine TPs or rotations up the river, as this tier 1 will finally be collected.
Looking pretty clear for LFY. I mean, split fight, even without the Aegis carrier in the fight, have no real chance of fighting at all, right? There's the max Omni Knight spells negate almost all the damage that comes out from EHOME. Weaver is also, it's funny to say this, but Weaver is the tankiest hero on the side of LFY. Strength threats, he has 1900 health with the Lincoln Steer.
I think it was really unfortunate for EHOME, because their observer ward sees, DP plus a couple of heroes moving to bot, and expected movement is all 5, right? Everyone goes there with the DP, sits behind the DP, they push tier 1, push tier 2. But having the 2 heroes that were mid, the Weaver and the AA, was it? Or the Weaver and the Earth Spirit, that the Puck and the Shadow Shaman had to fight. Because they wanted to trade, trade tier 2 damage to their tier 1, or try and get some split push going. And then they get caught, lose the Shadow Shaman, then the Puck has to try and rotate to fight, and they just have this massively disjointed fight across the map, when they're really meant to either, 5-on-5 head-on-head, and try and find the jump and the catch they need, or you just split and leave your towers to die. So they got caught in sort of the middle of 2 worlds, just because of, it's not misinformation, but they didn't have full information. They acted on the little information they had, which was, hey, DP's going to push bot lane. We assume everyone else is going to be behind us.
Yeah, good play from LFY. That's exactly what people need to try to do. They need to try to get some split pushing going on right now, but, I mean, they're just ready. It's tough.
Puck has that DD rune bottled up. Do EHOME want to fight right now? Do they want to get aggressive and start pushing when LFY is quite ready to defend, or is that still too risky?
EHOME are in the guys. We're kind of screwed right now. We can't fight them at all, especially with the Aegis. We need to split the map as much as possible. So there will be no fighting going on right now.
Weaver Age just expired. He's getting real close to that Diffusal Blade. Roshan going to be up in 2 minutes till we see when it's going to be a fast and short respawn. Death Prophet just continues to go push out. We saw her complete that Raw to Atos and use it for the little pick down bottom lane, and it looks like she's going to be getting pretty close to Rashiva's guard.
He's so tanky, so quick in this game. I mean, Lifestealer is like their biggest damage threat. He almost has a Desolator, but he has 21 armor to cut through.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Yule's counter to, like, what EHOME wants to do pretty much ruins their team fighting, for now at least, until they pick up more data from other sources. Like, they can't just initiate on one target, you know what I mean? Because Omni Knight's always going to save that one person. It needs to be either a coordinated fight where they can disable the Omni Knight and then go on a target, but then she also fuels herself. We'll go for the
DP goes in, drops the Atos on the Bristleback. Gonna Blade mail it off. Ice Blast. Doesn't do a whole lot of work in the mix, but yeah, he's in some trouble there. Killed off in the tree line. The rest of his team should be able to escape. Although Monet going in pretty deeply. It's going to get the defusal chart off onto Dark, but it's really tricky. They're going to commit everything to this Bristleback kill. The rest of the team is pushing down mid lane, but if Bristleback goes down, it's pretty risky. Two TPs in. They make it under the shrine, but Death Prophet still draining damage with the Soul Siphon. There's the mass TP they needed. Dreamcoil connects onto one. They go for the Ward Trap. They are going to get wards down, doing damage. And now they will finally find the kill on the Earth Spirit. Death Prophet going to be running back as Lifestealer tries to chase after him. He's a little bit sluggish. Might be able to go and find the kill on the AA. In fact, they're going to ruin him. In fact, short range Ice Blast. Lifestealer pops into a creep to waste some time and pops right back out. And he's still got his armlet on. He's potentially in some trouble. Now, oh, there we go. Omni Knight gets deep into the fight, casts the GA on 3 remaining heroes. They just got to start wiping out the low health heroes in the Dire. The Shaman goes down as well. They're just pulling in kills now. Bristleback back up, and Lifestealer just going to go to work onto the Death Prophet. She goes for the Yules and saves her own life. And now all they got to do is once again kill this Bristleback. It's all down to this big tanky boy. Maybe they let him off this time, but no, that's not the VP
The
strat.
baiters become the baited.
Yeah. LFY, they run back, and that was a pretty bloody fight. I thought that was just going to be a quick pick and done, but all the TPs to the shrine didn't really save them.
Yeah, it's just impossible for EHOME to fight this lineup at the moment. I mean, Lifestealer's hero pretty much plays off his range. Once his range runs out, he gets kited. There's even Fizzle Blade, which has no cooldown. Casually slap on him. And he won't be able to hit anyone. And of course, he goes onto the target, GA comes out, or they get repelled and walk away. And it's a nightmare for him. There's no real way to take it.
We saw in the end he was getting low and just tried to man up against the DP, just chewing at her, trying to get that lifesteal going, but she just Yulesed and basically just took herself out of the fight for enough time where her team could solo down the lifestealer. So, pretty successful from LFY. Even fighting under an EHOME shrine, they've still come out successful.
Yep, and now Solar Crest picked up the Omniad as well. Same thing. He tanks all their heroes up. He can literally stay focused. Which makes him that much
Radiant's
harder to
bottom
kill.
tower
These
is
heroes
under
are so
attack.
ridiculous to tank right now.
Puck going for the Dagon build. I mean, is this where you want Puck to be going for? Do we need a Veil or anything, or is this just they gotta get more damage up ASAP?
You have to blow up the DP before or during ulti before the ghosts come back, right? Especially if you allow them to come to your base, which is going to happen in the next 5 minutes. Especially with Roshan being up now, Aegis and Cheese. You just need to blow up the DP. Some way, somehow.
Gotta blow up the DP, but then meanwhile Weaver can find these heroes in the back like Rasta, Shadow Shaman. And then he's gonna get worse.
I think Weaver's like unkillable or close to at this point. Lincoln's level 2 time lapse was at 2000 plus HP, and he's buying a BKB. That's going to be real rough for EHOME to break through.
So many unkillable heroes right now on FY.
Yeah, we talked about the problem of, Lifestealer can only fight in his rage. That's going to be a persistent problem. How did EHOME fight around that?
He needs more damage and to get tanky. He just needs items. Like going for the defuse
Fight mid, they're gonna go in. Shaman tries to save his life with a Glimmer Cape. They do get the dust off on him, but it seems like they're hesitant to actually go up onto the high ground and take this fight. The EHOME do still have the tricks up their sleeve to turn that around. So just blowing a couple of spells, Omni Knight TPs away, and they gave the farm with the Lifestealer.
If intended, that's a pretty big and intelligent bait from EHOME, trying to get the ultis out of LFY to take kills on Shadow Shaman and Nyx, those two supports. If they bait out Exorcism and or GA or Ice Blast, they could potentially have a better fight in the Roach Pit later on.
Oh, here they go. They're going to kick back the Bristle, separating him from his team. Blade Mail doing some work. Short range Ice Blast. Now it's going to clip him. He's not healing anytime soon. They dropped him in the river, but it seems like the fight going a little bit north. I'm getting very, very low, but no, he does eventually fall. Domination comes out from the Weaver. Oh, there's the Infest coming out. Guardian Angel, as everyone is still alive on LFY, still fighting up. They do eventually kill off the Bristle, and even over the Dire Shrine, they're still going to find more. This poor Lifestealer can't do diddly without his rage. Puck, the only survivor, just skittering away with a Weaver bug on him.
Radiant's
fight from
middle tower
LFY.
is under
Yeah,
attack.
because LFY don't fall for the bait of going on the 64, they were disciplined to pull back. They had their ultis to take the big fight and get Roshan.
Has such value using the end of the exorcism to take Roshan to half-line.
Rigged handle.
These double
Yeah.
damage runes have been so LFY favored.
The Dota gods are bowing down. Where's game easy for
Overall net worth now spiking up pretty handily in favor of LFY. XP, I mean, even more so if you look at overall levels. You've got 20 on your Weaver and your Death Prophet, whereas on your Life Stealer, 18 and 16 respectively. That is a really big disparity. So Life Stealer, he's clearly got some ground to make up here. He's going to be finishing off his Diffusal pretty soon. Is that going to change things dramatically, or is it just not enough damage?
Dire's
Guys,
middle tower is under
This
attack.
game's not hopeless, right? I mean, it's only a 5,000 gold advantage for LFY here.
Radiant's
have a
bottom
chance.
tower is under attack.
Heroes or 3 cores have tons of farm on them, and they scale decently well in the game. But, I mean, right now, LFY have a big power spike where they just can't die. BKB on DP, it's completely fresh, 9 seconds. The last fight, Weaver, 10 seconds. And, Omni Knights, this guy's farm, he's got
top
37
tower
armor,
is
he's
under
not really
attack.
dying yet. Perhaps, EHOME can acquire some farm somewhere. You'll start taking
Nick's got some really good vision of a little rotation around the pit, seeing that all of LFY are up here in the mid lane. Gonna be sitting, plopping down a ward, and seeing if anyone's squishy like AA comes back to him, refreshes that Vendetta, and he's back on in.
Dire's middle tower
Weaver,
is
I mean,
under
Weaver
attack.
is ready to go. He wants to use this Aegis, not to let it fall like last time, so mid tower push coming out. They do have the Exorcism available, but they'll hold on to it until it's necessary.
They don't have to commit anything for anything. They can just move down a lane and say, this is ours, this is ours, this is ours, you know. EHOME aren't going to fight into them
Dire's
with
middle
Aegis.
tower
And
has fallen.
they've got cheese as well, right?
Yeah,
Who-
everything for them is free right now. They don't force it.
I mean,
You can use the ultimate shit as well.
Like, you need ideal setup, ideal escape.
oh, Bristleback. Yeah, he's going to be separated from his team. The short range Ice Blast again catches him down. Death Prophet is getting a little bit low, but has that Soul Siphon Rock and BKB as well. There is going to be a Puck Dream Coil onto 2, but both heroes BKB. They don't seem to mind Shadow Shaman Invis, but they're still draining him down. They keep eyes on where he's at. This is going to be an infested Life Stealer into a Puck that just can't find an initiation, so 2 supports go down. But it costs pretty much everything from EHOME to defend that.
That physical damage return from Blade Mail from the Ghost of DP was insane. She didn't even realize until she was like 3rd HP. She got
Yeah.
spam pinged by one of her supports saying,
Yeah.
dude, you have to Yules here, you're gonna die.
Yeah, Bristleback can still do damage to you, but it's your own damage.
Pretty crazy.
So that's just going to be EHOME. Again, big rotations. They pretty much all had to TP back in. They had to waste all of their ultis just to defend that, and they find support kills. Still, LFY feeling pretty dominant. Net worth is going to be sitting in their favor for a while.
There's still time chipped away off Aegis, you know. Time wasted of LFY getting a tier 2, bursting out activity, but not getting a tier 3.
Puck gonna get back to the Illusory Orb. The Dream Coil holds 2 back, and Puck will get out, but that's an expensive Dream Coil now. Down here in the bottom lane, we are just kind of have a roll away. Spirit making it out, but oh, lucky regen rune for the Puck. Should be able to go and jaunt up to the shrine. Uses the shrine. Not going to count on that regen rune. Wants to save it for later, and now the rest of the heroes rotating down. Nyx is nearby. They've got their sights set on the sneaking out Shaman. Gets clipped by the boulder just in time. Poor little buddy goes for the Glimmer Cape, but they've got vision for days. He will go down for the 6th time. That's a godlike streak from a Death Prophet now.
At least the EHOME are starting to get tools that will actually help. Lifestealer picked up the Fusel Blade, now they have it against the DP Yules and
Radiant's
HGA,
top
of
tower
course.
is
So
under
it's snipe
attack.
courier there. Dark Green wants it.
So
Radiant
Yep.
structures are fortified.
Not going to find it.
Jiang An.
Puck locked down. They just need one more hit on the little fairy dragon, but Nick's doing whatever he can to stop it. Puck gonna go phase shift, and always the prediction. Now,
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
gonna make it up. Weaver still on his heels. Puck gonna go and necessarily phase shift out to find some more time. Bug will clip on him, and now Weaver's hot on his heels. Oh, meanwhile, Super just gonna go find a kill. Oh, come on, man. Puck is
What
gonna-
is to die?
Yeah. Oh. That's pretty unfortunate. Nyx dies in the bottom lane, Puck dies in the top lane, and LFY feeling even more dominant than they were a little bit ago. I mean, is this lead gonna stop? There's still so much room for growth on LFY, and EHOME have the consistent problem of no damage.
This is the green light to run it down mid lane right now. Deep field's up, Cheese is still active as well.
And Shiver's Guard is delivered.
Yeah, and they get some item spikes.
Oh, this poor Shaman, man, he's just so paper thin. They're gonna pop the Exorcism here. Shaman's gonna get silenced up. I mean, he pops down his snakes, but that's the last thing he'll do. And Weaver's totally content to sit back and clean up the snakes to already have gone. Back, gonna pop that blade mail, but yeah, Softfoot not gonna fall for it this time. He's sitting back, and now spam up the tower. Gonna be melting, goes down very, very shortly. That's the tier 3 track, and now BKB's up. There is gonna be an ice blast that whiffs, but he still might be able to kill off the bristleback. He doesn't have that blade mail back up. And kill sprays are not enough to thwart back LFY. Lifestealer, he's so low, he just melts. That's with an armlet. Bristleback buys back into the game. Lifestealer has his buyback, currently holding it. They're waiting for more. Puck gets low, gonna get corralled back. The damage from the Weaver is so significant. Omni Knight chugging away with some goo on him, but he's in no real danger of death. LFY, they go in, they lose an Earth Spirit, they have to pop all their ults, but they force buybacks, they get a tier 3. This is just everything for Weaver.
We're actually defended, but at an expense of cost.
I mean, EHOME, it's looking grim. This is a best of 3, so they've got 2 more chances to redeem themselves, but what's their route back into this game for now, at least? Gareth, you got anything?
They've got to rely on Shadow Shaman doing the AUI 2000 thing. Go hide in some trees, run down the lane, Ether shock some waves, Serpent ward some towers, hope to get some, you know, pressure that way so that LFI have to come back and address it. I mean, EHOME going to be happy that they only lost tier 3 there, right? They didn't lose any racks, so that's a silver lining for them. But it's so tough for them to find an initiation that lets them take 1 kill and turn it into 2 and then 3. You know, they can't chain through in these team fights. They kill 1 like the Earth Spirit, and then Lifestealer gets chunked down by DP, or gets killed off by a Weaver damage. You know?
I mean, that whole fight, Lifestealer spent running because he knows he can't do anything attack.
Yeah, like they initiated on the Earth Spirit, and then he ran back to his shrine and still died.
Rough life.
LFY just traveling as a group. They're going to have the Exorcism back up in 10 more seconds. Weaver no longer holding on to the Aegis. Roshan going to be, we'll see pretty soon if it's a short or long respawn. LFY just start invading enemy territory. Taking out the shrine. That's
Radiant's bottom tower is under
next
attack.
Roche goes their way.
EHOME making some nice moves down bottom though, getting their split push on, and this is something they can't just ignore, especially with Shadow Shaman being down there. Mass Serpent Wards, a lot of Serpent Wards.
A mass amount of them.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Are they not placing them? Still holding.
Not yet. Forcing back rotations is neat. They want to throw away the gold, so they got what they wanted, a couple of TPs.
It's definitely their objective, just create some they're buying time for now.
Nice ward here in the Radiant jungle. Just gonna scout out any movements, but Radiant, they got the same one.
You guys believe the odds on this?
I'm gonna refresh them because I don't know. There's been bugging out a little bit. If not, that's a hardcore value bet, but I think it might need to be updated.
God, I missed that.
Getting, but I don't know if they're accurate as now. Bristleback's gonna initiate the fight. The Atos comes in. I mean, if EHOME were gonna take a fight, this is pretty advantageous to them. But they actually get it started. They go in. They get a nice silence punch there for some damage onto the Earth Spirit. Earth Spirit is gonna get killed off immediately. No buyback. Meanwhile, they've just got the Lifestealer having to rage TP out, but the damage is more than enough. He gets blasted apart. He does have buyback, but the rest of EHOME, they just gotta scurry away. As Death Prophet's now gonna go clean up these racks. They don't have creep for now. Creep wave is gonna be walking in fairly shortly, so these racks will start to evaporate. Buyback used on the next attack. His punching sword gets someone in silence. There's the Shaman just going forward, trying to get a Hex off, but now he's going to force step himself back and save his life. The Rim Kick comes in. Now there's the buyback on the Bristle, rocking through, but he's tanky. Blade Mail's done, and now, yeah, that's just what they need. They're going to go clean up the Shaman. He doesn't have buyback. They're looking for more. This could be a dieback on the Bristle if they find it. And this poor Lifestealer, you see, is just running for his life always. Invests into the Bristle back, and well, Nick's Assassin, he's frosty. He's got that Carapace going, but it's not going to last for long. Death Trumpet goes, buys himself more time with the Scepter, and now, oh, okay, look at that. That's he's eaten up as Lifestealer can't do anything but fight the Weaver bug on him. He's going to get picked off by Weaver himself, and that's going to be a beyond godlike count. The Super just keeps it going. There's 3 heroes dead with no buyback, and this is looking grim.
This Monet build on Weaver is so sick. Going for the Scardy after the having this use as your first actual damage item primarily. The Scardy kites Lifestealer and Bristle so hard.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen. Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
They're just tanking up. Like, none of them die, actually. Even DP almost close to dying there, but had the cheese. That's just the battle of the tanks. Bristleback's not dying either. But of course he's not killing.
Roshan now just spawns. There's a regen rune outside the pit, so this is just a open invitation to go walk on in and take yourself another Aegis and Cheese and keep that pressure up. Line's taken down, so there's no quick TP points, but it looks like Puck still wants to make a go of this. Sends the orb into the pit just to get some scouting information.
Very ambitious with that Lifestealer, but if they don't contest, they try to go for a steal. I can't imagine it being
So that comes in, he's gonna get Atos up, and temporarily delaying the fight is, oh, what a gorgeous Earth Spirit play. That's what they needed just to close this game out. Bristleback is just gonna get frozen in place, slapped down. That's 4 heroes dead. That's gotta be the Nyx Assassin. It's 2 to go down as well as the GG is called.
Moves like that are the reason why Arthur got poached from Southeast Asia.
That's the reason why you have to ban Earth Spirit against this guy. Oh my god.
Disgusting.
So well played, LGD forever young. They're gonna